Let's say you've got a basic version of a digital assistant working locally on your machine. You're at the phase where you can communicate with it from the command line, and you want to show it to your colleagues to get feedback. Then it's not going to be a great experience if you need to have your colleagues sit behind your laptop, behind your terminal, in order to get any form of feedback. This is where Rasa X can make a huge improvement. It's a tool that makes conversation-driven development easier, because it allows you to see how users interact with an assistant, which in turn will allow you to learn and improve it. So in this video, I will show you how to set up Rasa X locally on your laptop so you can share it easily with your colleagues. What I've got here is the standard Hello World Rasa project that you get when you run Rasa init. And what I'm going to do now is install Rasa X and run it with the starter assistant. Now, to install Rasa X, we have to make sure that we are in the same virtual environment as where we installed Rasa, and then you can just type pip install Rasa X. However, Rasa X is not hosted on the standard Python package index, so when you run the install command, make sure that you pass along this extra information, that you're using the Rasa package index. This should allow you to just go ahead and install. And with Rasa X now installed, I should be able to use it. To run Rasa X, the only thing you have to do is just type Rasa and then X. This will start a small web server, and you should notice that a browser just popped open. If you didn't see a browser pop open, what you can do is you can just go ahead and copy this URL into your browser. The main thing that's important to note is that Rasa X will automatically generate a temporary password, so it's good to take note of this. If you were now to go to your browser window, what you should see is an interface that looks like this. And just to demonstrate, what you can do is you can go ahead and talk to your digital assistant already. So I can type hello. It asks me how I'm feeling. I can say sad. And what you'll notice now is that Rasa X can just go ahead and render images for me, which already is a nicer experience than what you have while working in the terminal. There's all sorts of labeling options at my disposal here, and all of that is great, but the most useful feature here is the ability to share this bot with the outside world. If you were to go to, say, this Conversations tab, you'll notice that there is a button here, which will allow you to share your current version of your digital assistant with guests. If you click this button, what you can do is you can specify some details. And what you can then do is you can generate a link. However, one downside of this link is that we are using localhost, and that makes it harder for people in general to access our digital assistant. So as a final step, what we'll do is we will use a service called ngrok that allows us to take an app that's running on our Mac and have it be accessible by people on the internet in general. To download and install, you can follow the instructions on their website, and you can check the show notes for a link to this page. I already have ngrok installed on my machine, so if I want to share this link, what I have to do is I have to type ngrok, http, and then the port number that I want to expose. What's going to happen now is ngrok is going to make a temporary URL that is going to send all of the traffic to my local host to, you guessed it, this port number. And that means that via Rasa X and ngrok, I can share my digital assistant with anybody on the internet. And indeed, when we run this, you should be able to see that we have a URL that is forwarding to our local host. So as a final step, to get people the right address, I'll copy this, and then I'll just add everything after the port number to this URL. And this link can now be shared with others. And as you can see here, I've copied the ngrok link into my browser, and I've got this interface that allows me to talk to the digital assistant. So I can say, hello, 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 hello. It says, hey, how are you? I can say good. And if I were now to go to my Rasa X interface, then I should be able to go to my NLU inbox, and I should see that indeed, hello, hello, hello has been uttered, and I can start labeling. Being able to label here is great. It allows for a process of listening to your users and using those insights to improve your AI assistant. It's a process we like to call conversational-driven development, and we consider it a best practice. So I hope that you're able to install Rasa X locally and that you can listen more to users of your digital assistant.